My dear friends, let me begin with a question, not one that you answer quickly, but one that sits quietly in your heart. If someone told you that you have only 30 days left to live, what would change? Think about it, honestly. Would you still wake up stressed about deadlines, targets, and emails? Would you still hold on to that argument from 3 years ago? Would you still postpone calling your parents, your friends, your loved ones? Or would something shift within you? You see, when we are confronted with the reality of limited time, something magical happens. The noise fades, the unnecessary disappears, and what truly matters rises to the surface. Suddenly, relationships become more important than achievements. Peace becomes more valuable than proving a point. Presence becomes more meaningful than productivity. But here is the real question. Why does it take the idea of death to teach us how to live? The tragedy of life is not that it ends. The tragedy is that we live as if it never will. We behave like we have an unlimited supply of tomorrows. We say things like, I'll do it later, I'll apologize someday, I'll spend time when I'm free. But what if later never comes? There's a beautiful truth in spirituality. Awareness of death is not meant to depress you, it is meant to awaken you. Because when you realize that your time here is limited, you begin to ask better questions. Am I living a life that truly matters? Am I investing my time in what brings real fulfillment? Am I building memories or just chasing milestones? Imagine living every day with that awareness, not fearfully but consciously. You would listen more deeply. You would love more openly. You would forgive more easily. And most importantly, you would stop wasting your life on things that don't matter. Because in the end, life is not measured by how long you live, but by how deeply you live. One of the most powerful spiritual truths is this: everything is temporary. Now, we hear this often, but very few of us actually live by it. Your body is changing every moment. Your circumstances are constantly shifting. Even your emotions, happiness, sadness, anger, they all come and go. Yet, despite knowing this, we behave as if things are permanent, especially the things that disturb us. Someone insults us, we remember it for years. Someone hurts us, we replay that moment again and again. It's almost as if we are trying to make temporary pain permanent. But let me ask you something. On your final day, will that insult matter? Will that argument matter? Will that ego battle matter? Most likely no. So then why are we allowing it to control our present? Living with awareness of impermanence is not about becoming detached in a cold way. It's about becoming wise in a peaceful way. It means you understand that every moment is passing, so you choose carefully how you respond. When something negative happens, instead of reacting immediately, you pause and ask, is this worth my peace? And that one question can change your life. Because most of the things we stress about don't deserve our energy. Impermanence also teaches us gratitude. When you realize that the people in your life are not permanent, you begin to value them more. You listen more carefully. You appreciate more deeply. You love more sincerely. Because you understand that one day these moments will become memories. And here's the beauty of it. When you accept impermanence, you stop resisting life. You flow with it. Pain comes, you allow it. Joy comes, you embrace it. You don't cling. You don't fight. You simply experience. And in that experience, you find peace. Let me share something very real. At the end of life, people don't regret the things we usually think they will. No one says, I wish I had one more argument. No one says, I wish I had proven I was right more often. Instead, they say things like, I wish I had spent more time with my loved ones. I wish I had expressed my feelings. I wish I had forgiven. So why do we spend so much of our life protecting our ego? Ego is a strange thing. It convinces you that being right is more important than being kind. It tells you to win the argument even if you lose the relationship. But ask yourself honestly, what is the cost of your ego? How many relationships have been strained because of it? How many conversations have ended in silence because no one was willing to bend? Sometimes we are right, but we are alone. And sometimes being right is not worth the loneliness it brings. Choosing people over pride does not mean you always agree. It means you value the relationship more than the need to prove a point. It means you are willing to say, I'm sorry, even when your ego resists. It means you take the first step even when you feel the other person should. Because at the end of life, You won't remember who won the argument. You will remember who stood by you. You will remember the laughter, the conversations, the small moments of connection. And here's something important: time does not heal relationships, conversations do. So don't wait. Call that person, send that message, clear that misunderstanding. Because unresolved emotions don't disappear, they settle quietly in the heart, waiting to become regret. And regret is a heavy burden to carry into your final days. There is a quiet emptiness in a life lived only for oneself. You may achieve success, you may accumulate wealth, you may gain recognition, but deep inside, something feels incomplete. Because the human heart is not designed just to take, it is designed to give. Service is not about grand gestures, it is about small acts done with a big heart. You don't need to change the world, you just need to change someone's world. A kind word, a helping hand, a listening ear. These may seem small, but they have a lasting impact. And here's the beautiful part: when you serve others, something shifts within you. Your problems feel lighter, your heart feels fuller, your life feels meaningful. Because meaning does not come from what you get, it comes from what you give. Think about it. At the end of your life, what will matter more? The money you earned, or the lives you touched? The position you held, or the kindness you showed? Service creates a legacy that outlives you. People may forget what you said, they may forget what you achieved, but they will never forget how you made them feel. And that feeling is your true contribution to the world. Now, this is one of the most misunderstood aspects of spirituality. People think detachment means you stop caring, that you become distant, unemotional, disconnected. But true detachment is not about withdrawing from life. It is about freeing yourself from unhealthy dependence. You can love deeply without losing yourself. You can care fully without controlling others. Attachment says, I need you to be a certain way for me to be happy. Detachment says, I choose to be happy regardless of circumstances. This shift is powerful because when your happiness depends on others, you are always vulnerable. If they behave the way you expect, you are happy. If they don't, you suffer. But when your happiness comes from within, you become stable. You love people for who they are, not for how they make you feel. And this makes your relationships healthier, less expectation, less pressure, more acceptance. Detachment also prepares you for life's inevitable losses. Because everything in life is temporary, relationships included. This doesn't mean you stop loving. It means you love with awareness. You cherish the moment without clinging to it. And when the time comes to let go, you do so with gratitude, not bitterness. That is emotional maturity. That is spiritual strength. The heaviest regrets are not always about others. They are about ourselves. I should have tried harder. I should have made different choices. I wasted so much time. These thoughts can quietly consume us. But here's a truth you must understand. You made the best decisions you could with the awareness you had at that time. You were learning, you were growing, you were evolving. And growth means you are not the same person anymore. So why punish your present self for your past limitations? Making peace with yourself is an act of compassion. It means you forgive yourself not because you are perfect, but because you are human. It means you acknowledge your mistakes, but you don't let them define you. Instead of carrying guilt, you carry wisdom. Instead of holding regret, you hold lessons. Because your past is not a prison, it is a teacher. And when you truly accept this, something beautiful happens. You feel lighter, you feel freer, you feel at peace. Now imagine this moment. You are in your final days. Your journey is almost complete. There is silence around you, but also a quiet reflection within you. What would you want to feel in that moment? Not fear, not regret, but peace. A deep inner voice saying, I lived fully, I loved sincerely, I gave my best. That peace is not created at the end. It is created in the small choices you make every single day. When you choose forgiveness over ego, when you choose presence over distraction, when you choose kindness over indifference, you are building that peaceful ending. So don't wait for a wake up call. Don't wait for life to remind you of its fragility. Live with awareness now. Because one day, life will ask you a simple question: did you truly live, or were you just busy? Make sure your answer brings a smile, not regret. Thank you.